Hey guys, today I thought that I would do for you a non-spoiler and a spoiler review on Wither by Lauren DiSavano. I keep on having to look at that name because it's hard for me. I don't know, and the way that it's like placed on the cover, it's all weird, so I have to double look at it. But anyways, moving on. So here's the start of the non-spoiler section. This book was very good. I rated it 4 out of 5 stars simply because of the fact that I didn't really like how it ended. I thought that there was going to be more suspense. I honestly would have been satisfied with the book just ending right here, but I know that it doesn't. I know there's still 2 more books. So I hope that the books do get better and more like cliffhanger-y. Basically it was about this girl named Rhine. She's a sister wife because the government and, well, not really the government, but they need a way to keep on reproducing kids. So what they do is they get one guy and they have him marry 3 wives, and all he tries to do with them is have kids and reproduce basically like add more kids into the population. So, the girls only live until they're 20, and the guys only live until they're 25. I lost my train of thought. So you meet Jenna, who's one of the sister wives, Ryan, who's also another one of the sister wives, and then Cicely. I'm going to call her Cicely because I think that's what it is. But, those are the 3 wives. Cicely, I think, is just a little slut. I think that she needs to, like, keep it in her pants and stop being such a child, because she's younger. She is the youngest of them all, and she has the most sex with Lyndon, who is their husband. And it is the most disappointing thing ever, because she just always, oh, why can't he love me? I want him to love me more. And it's the most irritating thing ever. But so that's that book, and I guess I really liked it. 4 out of 5 stars. And now here we go into the spoiler section. So click out if you have not read this book. Hello, spoiler people. That was kind of awkward. I don't know if I'm ever going to do that again. So, this book, now you know what happens. You know what happens at the end. She ends up with Gabriel, and they run away together. Why did that have to happen in this book? That is my first order of complaint. Why did that have to happen in this book? It could have happened, like, halfway through the second book. Leave us with the cliffhanger. You know that they're gonna get away. You know that they're gonna get away safe. And then she starts talking about how much, oh yeah, we're gonna go and live on a boat and go back to Manhattan. So, if you didn't know that there was other books in this trilogy, you would immediately think that that's the end, and they're just going to Manhattan, and they're going to live happily ever after with her brother. But I know that there's 2 more books in the series, but if I wouldn't have known that, I wouldn't have picked up Fever, and I most certainly would have not picked up Sever. And that's what made me the most mad about this book, I think, is that there was no cliffhanger. Books with cliffhangers are so much better. The other complaint that I have about this book, these are the 2 reasons why I rated it 4 out of 5 stars and not 5 out of 5, is that there was, like, hardly any action. The only action that you got was them having sex. And it wasn't even the main character and Lyndon having sex. It was the other sister wives having sex. And this book was just 3 things, actually, was so depressing. There's, like, Rose dying at the beginning. I'm like, what? You just started to like her, and she was teaching you about those juju berries or whatever. You were just starting to like her, and you're like, oh my goodness, I know she's gonna die, but I didn't know that she was gonna die within the first 200 pages. And then you just start to like Jenna, and you're like, oh my goodness, she's not an emo, depressing, horrible person who just doesn't want to be there. She's actually really nice and cares about you and Gabriel, and then she drops off the face of the earth because you know that stupid housemaster Vaughn, or whatever his name is, killed her off because she was helping Ryan. I don't know why he just hasn't killed Ryan off yet, because if that's really what his intent is, I don't know why he hasn't done it. Probably because they need something to carry on the series. But I don't know, but it just made me so mad when she died, because my friend who got me to start reading this series, she told me, oh yeah, well, Jenna kind of reminds me of Isabel from the Mortal Instruments, because I made her read the Mortal Instruments not too long ago. She reminds me of Jenna, Isabel reminds me of Jenna from the Mortal Instruments, because she's so kind, and she tries to help, but at the same time, she likes sleeping with a lot of men, because that's the other thing that bothers me. But I'm going to continue reading it, because I'm really curious what's going to happen. But, Jenna, she's like, oh yeah, well, I'm never going to give myself up to him, and I will never let myself be that weak. I only have a year to live anyways, blah, 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 about how she's not going to give herself up to him. She has sex with him multiple times before Ryan walks in on them one time, and it gets very awkward because he's pulling up his pants and pulling on his drawstring to complete, like, what they just did. And she's like, oh, well, he's just trying to get me pregnant. And I'm like, what happened to you pushing him away when he tried to have sex with you? What happened to that Jenna who didn't want to have sex with him, who didn't want to be one of his sex slaves or sister wives or all that kind of stuff? What happened to that? For real, I don't understand it. But, next book, sorry, that was quite the rant. The next book in the series is Fever, and I'm going to read it. Sounds interesting enough. They have escaped, and Housemaster Vaughn is going after them, and, Housemaster Vaughn is going after them, and they go to this carnival thing, and I have a feeling that's going to get really creepy. But, I'm looking forward to reading it. I'll probably finish it this weekend. And then, once I go back to return some of the books that I've read, probably at, like, the end of August, I'll go and I'll read Sever, the last book. Unless this is a cliffhanger, and then I might just have to go to the library, like, Monday or Tuesday. I don't know. But, sorry, this video has been kind of long. I should have said this in the beginning, but I'll put the links for where it starts and when it stops. Well, you guys probably already know that, because if you've stayed this long, then it's spoilers for you and non-spoilers for you. So, anyways, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!